Sega.
Hi, my name is Peter Kamsia. I'm a balance designer at Relic Entertainment, and today I'm going to go a little bit over the balance changes in the upcoming November 12th Turning Point update. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is some of the changes to our upcoming buildings. I know that's something that the community's been talking about since release, how buildings function and some of the randomness related to them, and that's something that we really want to address in this patch. So one thing that you're going to see is that buildings are now going to be a lot more consistent in the way they take damage and in the way that they collapse. Previously, we had scenarios where one rifle grenade would, instantly destroy a building. So that's no longer going to be the case. It's going to be a lot more consistent. It's going to do a set amount of damage per grenade or per blast, with larger things like howitzer being one of the few weapons in the game that can actually knock a building down completely. We really want to improve the kind of the read-react loop there. So if you have squads in buildings, you'll better understand how much damage they're going to take, when they're going to take it, and then base your decisions off of that. So it's really going to make it a lot more consistent, a lot more readable, and hopefully in turn improve kind of the gameplay. On that as well, we did some changes actually to address some of the counters to buildings. We know buildings are very strong right now in the current environment, so we wanted to make it a little bit more strategical and tactical to use them. So if you see players using a lot of buildings, you have more options. The two key options that we've set up for the player are flamethrowers and mortars. Both of them have seen improvements versus buildings in this recent patch, so that should greatly address their functionality in terms of countering units and buildings. So another thing we're really excited about is the combat behavior modifications we're going to see in this upcoming patch. So previously, squads could only fire within a very minimal arc from the front, so about 45 degrees left to right. This meant that if you're moving, oftentimes you're not going to be shooting at the squad that you want to be shooting at. So to address this, we've changed it from a limited arc to a full 180-degree frontal arc, meaning that you can now strafe and fire. And this is going to greatly improve repositioning within the game and make it a lot more smoother and feel a lot more natural. So hopefully you guys feel that, and that's something that's really transparent in this next update. So next thing I want to talk about some of the units and abilities that we feel are underperforming or overperforming within the game. One unit that comes to mind is a T-3485. That's something that we've actually seen some drastic changes on. We've had a cost reduction and a combat performance increase. So hopefully that's something that's really noticeable when you guys get into game. So the last thing I want to talk about is the Vector rework. Our general goal there was to give each unit a lot more flavor and flair. It's something that we didn't feel like the previous system provided. So we took a look at the unit, we took a look at the role, and we tried to tailor vet that matched that role. So things like Pioneers, instead of getting received damage at Vet 2 or accuracy at Vet 2, they're now going to get increased repair speed. Or we have things like Penal Battalions at Vet 2 getting URA. So they're starting to add to that unit's role, starting to add a little more flavor, a little more dynamics, and it's starting to make the game a lot more interesting. It also removes scenarios where units like the 251 with its Vet 2 became tanks. We didn't like that, and that's something that we wanted to move away from. So we definitely feel like this new system improves the flow of the game, improves the pacing, and generally makes the game more fun. In addition to that, we also have a new system change that actually makes it so that units that have veterancy are now worth more vet. So a Vet 3 unit will provide 1.6 times more veterancy than a Vet 0 unit. Thanks again for tuning in to this balance update.